Hello again. Are you part of an innovation and or research team at a university or an enterprise and interested in the concept of team spirit or perhaps concerned about the team spirit at your own place? Well, in this video I discuss a few common facilitators and threats of team spirits based on my experience working at and visiting innovation and research teams in different parts of the world. My name is Jimmy Lapping. I'm a psychologist and statistician with an interest in a wide variety of research topics, including communication, learning, and performance in teams. And in the 40 years of my life so far, I've had the chance to live in 4 different countries in Europe for more or less time and traveled to and worked with people from many other countries on the continent, as well as with people from different parts of the world, of which you see here the most important countries in terms of length of collaborations and also publications of those collaborations in books and scientific journals. Especially in the last 10 years of my life, I have worked with people from all over the planet, and all these experiences have contributed to my perspective on matters like team culture and team spirit. And in this video, I discuss 5 different aspects of teamwork in an innovation and or research context, which can, depending on how they are implemented, either facilitate or hinder teamwork, and I'm going to present them in what I think is a sensible order of seriousness, starting with the relatively least serious one, support on common platforms. What do I mean by this? First of all, your team consists of a group of members who are all contributing to innovation or research projects from their own background and experience, and unless you are doing some kind of secret business, an appropriate thing to do would be to make their contributions visible on your website, even if it is just in the form of their faces, names, roles, and expertise. This, in combination with other things discussed later in this video, can help to contribute to a feeling on the part of the individual members of really being part of this team, being a meaningful part of this team. Second, a common type of platform, both in physical and online spaces in innovation and research context, is that of conferences. If you attend a conference as a team, act as a team. This includes, for instance, attending presentations of your team members, unless, of course, due to parallel sessions, one has no other choice but to be in another space at that time. And third, social media. Whether your team uses LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, or some other platforms, support your colleagues by spreading messages, by increasing awareness of what your colleagues are doing for the group. Next, facilitator or threat, team presentation. At the end of the day, an innovation or research product is the result of combined efforts of team members. Just like in soccer and other team sports, matches are not won just because of the brilliance of individuals, but because the team performs well. So if, in a conference introduction, book forward, or another type of presentation, you as a leader present or allow someone else to present the team as consisting of 1 or 2 people who are experienced and the rest are kind of there but, well, not so experienced, all you achieve is that several of the other team members feel like they are presented as if they were nobodies, while at the same time you as a leader make a fool of yourself for this presentation or for allowing it to happen. And of course, the latter will be amplified if, in fact, some members, now in grey, actually have much stronger track records in this team or in previous teams than the ones who are conveniently highlighted. For instance, some members in grey having publication track records 5 times those of the couple who are given all the attention as having such a great track record in publishing. No matter how much you preach the importance of respect and try to present your team as one where everyone is respected and everyone counts, acts are louder than words. And if in such a team presentation you actually show that your words of wisdom about respect are just window dressing. In order for your team members to feel valued, presenting their contributions appropriately matters. Number 3 on my list, consistency of standards. Both in academia and in enterprises, there is a tendency towards double standards for promotion, for conference visits, and other opportunities, as well as regarding holidays and other rights and privileges. For example, it is a bit odd to tell your own team members that they cannot have access to particular journals that are behind paywalls when you do give that access to someone who comes to visit the center as part of a sabbatical year. These and other examples of a lack of consistency in standards is likely to, at some point or another, contribute to feelings of inequality and dissatisfaction, which usually do not contribute to a good team performance. Penultimate on my list, appropriate and timely contribution. One of my favorites on this list is co-authors who do not contribute, because they conveniently use the excuse of being busy and are not afraid to use power relations to minimize any kind of protest against that unethical behavior. Whether you are the dean of a faculty, the research director of a team, the pope, or whoever, if you want to put your name on a publication, you must contribute. Failing to do so is not only unethical, but will over time also feed feelings of inequality and dissatisfaction similar to the ones I just discussed under double standards, because actually here we are dealing with a kind of double standard. If as a PhD student or postdoc you do not contribute to a paper in a way that superiors find acceptable, that may result in no co-authorship for that person. Yet, if the dean or research director displays such a behavior, that is often totally fine. And at the end of the day, that publication will count in the assessment system wherever one is based. If you are that kind of co-author who literally contributes 1 or 2 words to a paper and then put your name on it, I think it's time to ask yourself what on earth you're doing in research. You may be good at other things, but you are certainly not contributing to team spirit or team performance in research. Another thing, respond to email. And in a timely manner, especially if it is evident that the colleagues who are sending you these emails need your input. Don't let them wait for your input, or worse, guess what your input would be if you responded. If that's how you're working in research, consider doing something else, because you're not doing your team members a favor. And finally, in this category, contribute for improvement. Not the kind of comments, well, I don't understand this, or yeah, I think there's something missing, but actively seek ways to provide your feedback such that you actually contribute to possible solutions and hence moving forward. And finally, really key, appropriate acknowledgements. What is this about? First of all, if for your study there are several people or institutions who do not meet authorship criteria but have had a key role in the implementation of your project, thank them at the end of your paper or in that conference presentation or on social media or on your website for that matter. Oh yes, and when you get to go to a conference, acknowledge all the colleagues who have contributed to the study or paper you are presenting. I have attended several conferences where I saw someone present work from their center but only putting their own name on the presentation. That is unethical and unfair to the team members without whom this presentation would have never occurred in the first place. And even when it comes to using specific slides for your presentation or workshop or whatever other activity, don't just use materials that others created without asking their permission. Use it only if you get their permission and acknowledge the original source if and when you get that permission to use the material. If you work on these 5 things as a team, you may still face other challenges that need to be addressed, but at least these will help you to create a fair play field with fair credits and fair opportunities for every member that is part of this team, which is really key if you want to create a team with good spirit and good performance. Okay, that's it for this video. I hope you find this useful, and if you have any ideas or suggestions for future videos, feel free to leave a comment below this video or contact me via the email address shared in the description below this video. Thank you for listening and see you soon.